Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. I've been up since 5, just get myself mentally and emotionally prepped for the day. Monday and Thursdays are my really long days, and so me and my wife, we work on prepping my lunch, and I've gotten up in the morning now on Mondays. Mondays they don't normally work out because it is my long day. But I got up this morning and I started stretching, doing a little bit of abs and some push-ups. Just really conditioning my body for something new. And it's funny because it wasn't a hard workout at all. But because my body is so unaccustomed to stretching and bending and flexing, I broke out into a sweat. And I'm like, what is going on, man? I'm not doing cardio, but it's just because I was putting my body through a routine that it was totally unfamiliar with, especially at like freaking 5:30 in the morning or whatnot. So it was interesting. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about all the things that we do that we become so routine with and familiar with, and understanding that if you change that routine, there's gonna be there's gonna be a backlash. There's gonna be um, a reaction. And I was listening to, I forget who I was listening to. I think it was Steve Furtick, and he was talking about bondage and slavery, and I was thinking about when people come out of a situation that has enslaved them. When I think about the children of Israel when they were rescued out of Egypt, and how they wanted to go back to Egypt when they were going through the desert. And I think about the African Americans when they were freed from slavery, how they had such difficulty adjusting to the idea of freedom and what that entailed. Not to mention the things that rose up against them. And even today, there are still some remnants of that slave mentality of things that we don't think that we can do subconsciously. And so when I look at the bondage of addictions, and when I have a client that is rediscovering who they're really meant to be, as opposed to being, somebody strung out on heroin or crack or meth, whatever, and they start to sample sobriety, how uncomfortable it is. Because even though they freed themselves from the physical effects of the addiction, they've done detox, they've gone inpatient treatment, they've got 90 to 120 days clean, and the physical withdrawal is long gone. But the emotional withdrawal is still alive, and that's where you get people, excuse me, having drug dreams that are so vivid and real. Your body reacts, and so we're looking at the essence of change. And I get it, man. I mean, some people, I get it. Some people don't want to work with me because at a certain point it gets really real. And I look at myself, because I'm gonna get involved with a new mentor to work with me on my mental blocks to being healthy, to being healthier. I work out. You guys know I work out a lot, but my food is still not. It's not in the place it was when I was with Leslie. You know, and I know that there's something going on. I mean, when I was working with her, she had touched on how being overweight was not just it wasn't just unhealthy for me. It was it was a comfortable, protective state I was in that, how do I put this? It insulated me from further rejection. And so if you think about, those of us out here who are watching my videos, when we keep running up against a wall to being truly successful in our life, whether it's in relationships, in our health, in our finances, in our sobriety, whatever, when we keep running into this wall that prevents us from moving forward, there's something there. There's a block there, an emotional mental fence that is electrified, that every time you get close to it, it shocks you and you back off. And it doesn't even have to mean that there's a physical pain involved. It could just be the thought of potential pain that causes us to back off. I think about the story about how they train elephants, and when they're babies, they tie a cord around their foot to a stump, and they learn that they can't break it, when they're young. But as they grow and they become this mammoth beast, and they still got this same, you know, what little cord that they could easily snap. They don't, because their mind and their body and their emotions have been trained that they can't go any further. And I think about us. Have we subconsciously trained ourselves to believe we can't go any further? And if that's the case, all the self-help books in the world aren't going to help you, because you don't believe in yourself. And I see that with you. I see that with myself. And when I realized that my greatest and most difficult opponent is that guy in the mirror, I need to call in some help. I need to get some assistance with that dude, because everybody has blind spots. I was telling my daughter this the other day, and it's extremely difficult to deal with, and one, identify and then deal with our own blind spots, because we're blind. We don't see them as well as other people see them. We have a vague understanding that there's something going on in this area, but because we've become so familiar with that thing that keeps us in a failure state. I'm so familiar and comfortable with it, I can't effectively address it. So I got to call in my reserves. I got to call in my team. And if my team, and here's the thing, if your team has been with you for a significant amount of time, you have to realize that they're also blind to your situation. So either you've been covering it up, or they've given up. They've tried to tell you several times what the deal is, and it's just become static, and you no longer hear them. It's kind of like, the old Charlie Brown cartoon, where Charlie Brown was in the classroom and the teacher was talking, and all you heard was womp, 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 womp. And I know that I have clients that hear me like that sometimes. Oh, it's just Will talking on his video, womp, 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 and it becomes this background static that we don't really adhere to. We don't really hear and apply, because that's the two components of change: hearing and applying. A lot of us are good at the first part. We hear. I hear you, Will. I hear what you're saying, dog, but I haven't applied it. And those are the two steps necessary, crucial, if you want to take yourself out of the rut you're in, into well, into the promised land, into this new level of living. And I get it. I get it. I understand it's painful to get past the electrified fence. It's scary, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, it's embarrassing, but it's the only way we can really truly heal. A lot of my speakers talk about failing your way to the top, failing your way to success, and I think about, when I work out, and Patrick's a firm believer of this. He's one of the guys on Facebook, workout, professional, back muscles. His back muscles have back muscles. But he totally understands and teaches the art of muscle failure. Because when you work out, you have to take your body to that level to where your muscles get broken down and destroyed so that they can be rebuilt stronger, better, faster. And it doesn't happen until you take yourself beyond your own current limits. Because until you go beyond those limits, until I start stretching in the morning, working that back out, strengthening those glutes, working on those thigh muscles and those calf muscles, getting myself limber enough so that when I work out, my muscles can react even better. I'll never achieve the quality lifestyle that I want. I mean, a lot of us talk about wanting it. We talk about these dreams, but it's just lip service until we're willing to put in the work. And see, this is where I said, you got to believe in yourself for those self-help books to work, because you've got to believe you're worth the investment. You've got to believe you're worth the sweat. You've got to believe you're worth getting up early and doing something new again and again and again until it works. You could watch my videos every day, 3 times a day. But until you actually start to apply it because you believe in yourself, it's not going to work. So that's my little topic for this morning. I'm just really, praying for you guys as I'm praying for myself to finally, I know 2020 has been a rough year. I know. But, here I'm thinking, let's capitalize on all the forced change we've had to deal with. We've been forced to change. So since we're already in this season of change, uncomfortable change, why don't we capitalize on it? Why don't we, since I'm already there, since I'm already uncomfortable wearing these masks, wash my hands 3-4 times a day, social distancing, not shaking hands, not hugging, since I'm already uncomfortable, why don't I just go ahead and take it all over? Just go ahead and jump off the ledge. Just go. Just go for it. And make 2020 the year of the year we evolved. This doesn't have to be our worst year. This could be the kickoff year that Will finally turned it around. He didn't just sample success in 2020. He created a whole new level of success for him and his family. And that can be the same for you. This really, really, really could be your year if you choose to believe in yourself and apply new tools, new techniques, and new strategies. Okay? So, you guys know I love you guys, and I'm praying for you guys. I know you guys are praying for me. I'm still working on the housing thing for me and my family. Um, but it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Just like it's going to work out for you guys. All right? So, peace, and I will talk to you guys later.